I would leave you with that question because it's worth ruminating on. Dance is as important in human development, as central to human culture, as our capacity for mathematical abstractions. In all cultures, dance is present and has a formative influence. But we don't teach it. Why not? We all have bodies, don't we? In practice, we tend to educate people progressively from the neck up and slightly to one side. If you asked what the public education system was designed to do, you would have to conclude that it's designed to produce university professors, because they're the people at the top of the tree. I speak as a former university professor and I love academics and academic work, but I know it's a very partial form of human life. Something that's true of many university professors is that they live in their heads and slightly to one side. They're in a sense, disembodied. They look upon their body as a form of transport for their head. It's a way of getting their heads to meetings. One thing that strikes me as I travel about is that there is almost everywhere the same hierarchy of subjects in the school system. It doesn't really matter where you go. It's true in America, throughout most of Europe, in Asia, and in Australia. I ran a project for the Council of Europe called Culture, Creativity and the Young. It involved surveying curriculum provision in 22 European countries. North and South. I also chaired a commission on creativity and education in Britain for Tony Blair's government. Our report, All Our Futures, Creativity, Culture and Education, sets out a broad framework for education in the future. The hierarchy in every school system is like this. At the top are languages and mathematics and then science, and then a bit further down come the humanities and then come the arts. And in the arts, there is another hierarchy. Art and music are normally thought to be more important than drama and dance. This is true almost everywhere, in every school system. There isn't a school system on earth that teaches dance every day to every child with the same commitment that we teach them mathematics. Why not? If policymakers examine education performance and they find low mathematics results, they get into moral panic and say, how on earth are we going to improve them? It's a real pleasure to be here and to listen to the speeches from Florida and Utah about their extraordinary achievements. It's also a privilege to be a member of Governor Mike Huckabee's Commission on the Arts in Education. It's very significant that the ECS has taken this theme for Governor Huckabee's chairmanship, and an honor to be invited to speak about it today. I ought to start with a confession. I'm not actually from America. I'm from the UK and I moved out here 4 years ago at the invitation of the Getty Center in California. There are many similarities between the UK and America, so in moving from Europe to America you do feel instantly at home in a lot of respects. There are many challenges we have in common, and high among them are the challenges that face education. Every country in the world is currently reforming its education system. So in the few minutes that we have, I want to put an international frame on what's happening here in the States and especially on the ECS initiative, the arts in education, and Governor Huckabee's commitment to it. Teacher professional development can be designed to help all staff members effectively serve all students. For example, professional development programs can sensitize teachers to students' language, cultural and racial backgrounds, increase their knowledge of second language acquisition, and help develop effective curriculum approaches in teaching language minority students. De Mejia and Ellett, 2015. All teachers can be trained to recognize themselves as teachers of language, irrespective of their subject area. The mentoring of new teachers by more expert and experienced teachers can be valuable. Such initial and in-service staff development may include student, community and wider societal awareness programs. Models and curriculum approaches to bilingual education, cultural diversity, and the politics that surround local and regional implementation of education for bilinguals. Caballero, 2014. Fillmore and Snow, 2018, indicate particular teacher competencies that bilingual, and all, teachers need, based on their multiple roles as classroom communicators, educators, evaluators, citizens and socializers. They suggest that teachers need to know the basics of language form, e.g. phonemes, morphemes, regularity, lexicon, structure, dialects, academic English, spelling, and not just language functions and uses. Bilingual schools must deliver highly effective education for students, not just on language dimensions but also on other areas where various stakeholders want success. Mejisto, 2012. Even if the school is excellent at language maintenance and language revitalization, its justification for students, parents, public and politicians ultimately derives from it being a form of holistically effective education. While social justice and equity can be a colorful flag to wave for bilingual schools, their success in developing each child academically as well as linguistically, cognitively and as citizens, as contributors to the economy as well as to a community, requires a bilingual school to deliver the multiple and complex agenda of education and schooling. While this section concentrates on language issues, all the attributes of effective schooling are relevant to bilingual schools. There are elements that make all types and models of bilingual education more or less effective. Mejisto and Genesi, 2015. While dual language policies, provision and practices are a keystone of such schools, effectiveness reaches far beyond language.